Now, what we have here is a failure to communicate.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Yankee
And the Hillbilly.
and we have a very interesting topic to talk about today, Jay. We are going to talk about accents, and because the first time, this is even before, when I got the phone call for my job down here in North Carolina, I'm not going to say who called, but my mom answers the phone. Matt, there's someone on the phone for you, and they're Southern. Just by the accent. And Southerners, when I tell people, I moved down to North Carolina, or I'm now living in North Carolina, who knew me from when I lived in New Jersey, when are you going to start talking like them? Do you have trouble understanding them? And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The worst part was going through the drive-thru when I first moved in, because it was very hard. It's hard to understand people through the drive-thru anyway, but then with the Southern accent, I had a lot of trouble.
Well, Matt, I'm going to tell you this. I have lived in North Carolina all my life, and there are people who have such a thick Southern accent that even I cannot understand them. But that may not necessarily be just because they're from the South.
That could be
people
from English.
People could be people. Even within North Carolina, I know when I moved from here to Warren County, you could tell there was a difference in the way people pronounced certain things.
Okay, so right now we're center, little eastern part of the state.
Yeah.
Sand Hills region. So where is Warren County?
Warren County is more north. It's near the Virginia border.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So as you start to get up there, it actually not that far from the Virginia border.
Okay. But now I have a very interesting opinion on accents. Yankees, Northerners, whatever you want to call us, have more of an accent than Southerners.
I'm gonna disagree with that, because if we're talking north south, I think that and how far west are we going? Because look, you cannot take out, or you have to take into account, we got the mountain Appalachian, way up in the mountains where they have a certain accent, and then you go all the way down to like Louisiana where they throw some French in there.
But I'm going to take Jersey, all right? And first of all, next person I hear say Jersey, I'm going to punch in the face. Because we don't talk like that, and I'm sorry. But you know what? You will have an accent from the north, from the center, from the shore, from the south, down by Philly, all in the state that's 1/3 the size of North Carolina. And then that's not even getting to your New York accents, your Boston accents. You may be used to it, but it's there. And while we don't always have the regional accents, we have the international accents too. Because, we identify up north so much from our family heritage. And now, my grandparents came over. They came through Ellis Island, right?
Right.
I still identify myself as Italian. I still identify myself as Polish. Whereas, I will ask kids, where's your family from? Or, what are you?
And they say, my family's from Mecklenburg County.
But they don't even know. They don't know where their family originally came. And granted,
I know where my family originally came from. My family came from England and Scotland. And then part of my family were Native Americans, so they were already here. So I know that.
And we do have a large Native American population. I will say, from my experience talking to North Carolinians, the ones who are Native Americans know their heritage The others, not so much. And as I just asked your daughter, she told me she was Indian.
And I think that she was kind of joking, but see, she knows her grandmother has told her that part of our heritage were Indian, which Native American. But I'll tell you this: when we went up to New England to visit some family of ours, and my great aunt was from Portugal, so she could speak Portuguese, and those guys up there, I remember. Okay, when we met, it was like two tribes, like an ancient Amazon tribe meeting another tribe from a different part of the world,
just trying to understand each other.
And it was weird. It was really weird at first because they were like, "Oh, your accent, why do you talk like that?"
And I mean, I will say it doesn't take long to get used to an accent, because I mean, I don't even hear. Do you like? There's very few people I hear that's Southern.
Do you think that when you get to a region, you live there for a while, you start to acclimate? I mean, some people will retain their accent no matter what. Now they'll pick up words like y'all.
Yeah, but I think it depends on the level of their accent beforehand, too. Because I think if you have a Boston accent, like a thick Boston accent, I don't think you're going to lose that easily, and you're always going to come out like you may go towards the mean more, but every now and then you're going to come out with that word, and everyone's just going to look at you like, "What did you just say?"
Okay, well you've lived here for how long now?
10 years.
Okay, 10 years. We're going to do a little test here. I'm going to say. Well, I actually should have wrote this down, but I'm going to ask you to say a word, and then I'll say it. But I'm gonna cheat a little bit because I'm more familiar with the accent.
Okay.
And I tend to, if I get around people that have a thick Southern drawl, I'll start talking like that. For some reason, I'll start to assimilate it to the way they talk.
Before we go, okay. There was a show on WB channel, Dawson's
Creek,
not Crick.
Yeah, not Crick.
And that just annoys, and that's all over. Every now and then you have different pockets of people who say it, and it just annoys me.
Well, have you picked up some people say, "Oh, that's down by the branch." You never heard the branch? A branch being a stream or a creek?
No.
Okay, that's a new one.
That's a new one.
About that one. Okay, but you've heard of Moccasin Branch, though, right? Moccasin Branch, Raven Rock.
No.
That's a new one. Okay, here's the word. All right. If you're cutting the grass, you would use
lawnmower.
Okay. Lawnmower. Honey, I'm gonna get on the lawnmower. I'm about to get on the lawnmower. Did you get gas for the lawnmower?
No, that's why it's broken down in their yard.
Okay, next word. I have a pet, not a cat. I have a pet.
Dog.
Dog. Look at the dog. Where's them dogs? Who let them dogs in here? Get them dogs out of
See,
here.
I don't hear that much of a difference there.
Okay. But some northerners like dog.
Okay.
Where there's no W, it's just dog.
Okay, you're getting close.
What's the matter with you, man? Get your dog.
Everyone's going to be annoyed at that.
Okay. All right. Here's another one. You drink it is a cool, refreshing beverage that's not a beer, and we're going to be talking about the subject later. It's not Pepsi.
It's soda. It's not pop. It's not a Coke. It's not a drink. It's soda.
Right. We say, I want a Coke. A Coke. Not Coke, but Coke.
But
you got some northerners say it. Hey, can I get a Coke?
And you're gonna say like you said, we are gonna talk about this a little bit later on another episode of the Yankee and Hillbilly. But even if you're drinking Mountain Dew,
right,
you will call it a Coke.
Yes.
If I actually, made the list before we started this, I'd probably have a bunch.
We gotta plan better.
Yeah.
Y'all and you all. That's
You're interrupting.
oh well.
Yeah, my daughter did make a good point about y'all. I think that's pretty much with the I guess it's hip hop. Y'all became a pretty international term, don't you think?
International or national? I'd say it's more national than international.
Y'all, you all, youans, you guys, use, right? Northern is
That-
use.
Yeah, you're just trying to do the bad Jersey accent now. My cousin
Which one?
Vinny.
Oh, use? No, that's youths. Youths.
But I honestly, I still believe that people from the north, although they will never admit it, they actually have more of an accent than people from the south.
I think we could do an experiment on that, but man, I tell you what, if we were to go down and talk to some of those Creole people down in Louisiana, and listen to that is a real specific type of accent.
Oh, I mean, no doubt. But I'm going to say there's more of a variety. We'll say that. More variety up north.
Right. But you know what? The funniest thing is to see somebody who's from England to come over here and try to do a southern accent. That is hilarious.
But see, I think everyone thinks they can do a southern accent.
I think it's both ways. I think that
Everyone
we
thinks
think that we can do a New Jersey accent, and then
Or a Boston accent.
Yeah, and then they, people from North think they can do a southern accent, and basically all you do to do a southern accent is just kind of slow it down just a little bit, I think. And
Good point.
People up north and specifically from cities, I think, are just in a bigger hurry and they talk faster, and they don't.
Well, why don't you guys feel free to comment if you guys have any issues with other people's accents that you want to share. Keep it nice.
Yeah, we're not trying to make anybody mad. We can look at this as like being a class in sociology, or I wouldn't go as far as say anthropology, but it's just a social experiment. We're looking at what makes us more alike than what makes us different. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I believe that there's a lot more alike than there is differences.
But no one wants to be all the same either. At that same point, our differences make us unique and make us special.
And that's a good thing.
Yep. So this is another episode of the Yankee.
And the Hillbilly.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Thanks for watching. Anytime.
All right.
When we start it.
I'll start.